Hey everybody, Aaron Morton here, Realty with the Aerosol team of Keller Williams, and once again I have a special guest with me, Bree Vanlin with Honor Homes Mortgage, or Lenders, which one do you want us to go?
Honor Home Loans.
Honor Home Loans. So we have a few question and answers that we want to give to you guys, and hopefully this will help you out in your home buying process. All right, so Bree, one of the important questions that I usually get from some of my clients is what happens with rising rates while they're under contract for a home?
Sure. So I will kind of hit on your question first, and then I'll give you a solution to that as well.
Sure.
So first, once your buyer is under contract, we will contact your client and let you know, hey, congratulations, super exciting. Here's what your rate is for today. If you want to lock that in, you have the opportunity now that you're under contract. But if you don't, we have no idea what rates tomorrow, next week will look like.
Right.
So you have options based on that day's rates, which are great to do. But it depends on you if you want to lock or if you want to gamble a little bit. I don't like to gamble with my own money, so it depends on who you are as to what you'll choose to do with that.
Okay.
Something that you can do is lock, shop, and go before you're under contract.
Okay.
So you can lock in your rate while you're shopping for up to 60 days. And that gives you the ability to hold in that rate while you're finding that perfect home, while Aaron's showing you around town, all of your options there. Okay. So that's a great option to avoid that problem. And then once you are under contract, you'll take a look at floating down to whatever current market is, or if you have the opportunity to stay where you're at with the best rate available.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that locking in, is there a cost to that?
It depends. So not initially for the lock, but if you're buying it down, there could be a cost. So everything's different on that. It just depends on the market, that day's rates, what your program is, and all of those factors.
Okay, good. Now, do you advise people to take that avenue and just lock in the rate, or should you just wait it out?
Sure. So I always advise locking. Reason being is if you know it can get worse, possibility, I would like to know what my numbers are today. If I'm comfortable with them, great. If I don't want them to get worse, then I'm locking it in.
Okay.
Because the benefit of that is you see the numbers, you know what they are, you've got that interest rate. It's not changing once you lock it in, unless you decide to buy it down or whatnot.
Okay.
So if you don't do that, let's say you wait and your rate goes from a 5.5 to a 5.75, and then you say, hey, Bree, I no longer like those numbers. Well, hey, there's nothing we can do but buy it down, or you take that day's rate. So it's simply the fact of, if you want to gamble, I always advise, especially for qualifying reasons, hey, lock this in if you're happy. If you don't want it to get worse, the market flips, rates get better, we give you that option to float down.
Oh, okay. I heard you mention buy down your rate. Can you explain that, please?
Sure, absolutely. So just like in the example I just gave you, so for example, if today's rate at no cost to you, I say, hey, Aaron, you got great credit, you're putting 20% down, all estimates, of course, just off the top of my head. Based off of today's rate, I could give you a 5.75% at no cost to you. Okay. Which means that there is no cost associated with that rate. There are no discount points. There's no buy down for the rate. Let's say you say, hey, Bree, that's a great rate, but what if I want it to be lower? Okay. Well, if you want it to be lower, let's say it's a 5.625% and it comes at a one-time fee or a discount point of sorts that equates to $800. That's going to be your buy down for that rate. So you're paying a one-time fee up front for a lower rate for the life of your loan. Okay.
Yeah. Wow, that's good to know.
Lots of information, right?
Yeah. But that helps. Yes. Do you see our rates rising in the near future, or what's your opinion on the rates right now?
Sure. So perspective and interest rates, right? Just like on the market. So as you list homes all day long, that it's a different market now than what it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. So the same thing with interest rates. So people have been looking at rates saying, oh my gosh, that 5.75 is really high. When it's not really high, it's just higher than what we were seeing when rates were in the 2s and 3s.
Right.
So it's perspective about that, because your cost of renting is still higher than anything you would pay in an interest rate, right? Because when you say, hey, you've owned your home for 5 years, this is what I can help you sell it for, they have the opportunity to make that money back. When you rent, you never have that opportunity.
Okay.
So it's kind of an opportunity cost of sorts that you can kind of look at and then go through that as well. So always different with interest rates, depending on the day, the market, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is some great information.
I'm glad. Helpful.
Yeah. Do you have any programs right now that you that would work for people that have, I guess, low credit scores, or they see themselves having a high interest rate? Do you have any programs that could work for those people?
Yes, absolutely. So the program's just kind of like how we talked about last time. Y'all go ahead and click that link for the other video if y'all missed it. So just like if you call me and you say, hey, Bree, I'm ready to buy, that for you is completely different than any other buyer that comes to me. Okay. So we break it down one-on-one, what you need, what works best for you, your family. So in a general sense, we go down to a 580 credit score on VA and FHA right now. So there is that space for somebody that would consider themselves being a lower credit score.
Right.
To me, there's no difference in a 580 versus an 800 if your loan works. So I always tell people, reach out, even if you think that you have credit issues. We can at least help you in that. Hey, there's one thing on your credit, if you pay this off, we can get this removed, you're good to go. So at least then they have the knowledge of what they can do, what your buying power is, and all of those things. So those would be the two programs that I would typically use for somebody that is in the lower credit score space.
Okay, awesome. Hey, that was a lot of information, but good information that I think could help guide you through your home buying process. We're here to help you out, hold your hand, so to speak, to make sure that you have the best experience as possible. So once again, I'm Aaron Morton with the Aerosol team at Keller Williams.
Bree Vandelin with Honor Home Loans.
Yeah, so make sure you reach out to one of us if you want to get your home buying process started. And we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you very much.